Yahawashi, Yahawashi, Rakakadash, all praise, honor, and glory go to the Most High Yahawah. In the name of His Son, Yahawashi. I'm back to you another quick one before I go into the plantation. I'm reading this scripture because I wanted to get in the mindset of what's going to happen to the men of the Lord, the prophets, just as the things are going to happen to other men that, the nation of Yahawah, so-called African American, Native American, Latinos, and speckled-bird Israelites. We're all going to be going through the same type of things as this king of Babylon continues to turn up the heat and go against our people. And it doesn't, exclude prophets or men of the Lord from going through things as well, but there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And Jeremiah 38:2, this is, you read the title, said Jeremiah was thrown into the cistern. It says, "Thus says Yahawah, he that remaineth in the city shall die by the sword." This is Jeremiah speaking, "by the famine and pestilence. But he that goes forth to the Chaldeans shall live, for he shall have his life for prey and shall live. Thus says Yahawah, this city shall surely be given to the hand of the king of Babylon's army, which shall take it. Therefore the princes said unto the king, We beseech thee, let this man be put to death, for thus he weakened the hands of the men of war that remain in the city, and the hands of all the people in speaking such words unto them. For the man speaking not the wherefore of his people, but the hurt." Then Zedekiah the king said, "Behold, he is in your hand, for the king is not he that can do anything against you." It says, "They took Jeremiah, cast him to the dungeon of Malachiah, and the son of Hamalek that was in the court of the prison, and they let down Jeremiah with cords in the dungeon. There was no water but mire, so Jeremiah sunk in the mire." It says, "Now when Ebed-melech the Ethiopian, one of the eunuchs which was in the king's house, heard that they had put Jeremiah in the dungeon, the king then sitting in the gate of Benjamin, Ebed-melech went forth out of the king's house and spake to the king, saying, My lord the king, these men have done evil in all that they have done to Jeremiah the prophet, whom they have cast to the dungeon, and he is like to die for hunger in the place where he is, for there is no more bread in the city." So it's going to come a time, for the prophets where we're going to be faced with, maybe not having any food or anything like that. But this is what the Lord's going to do, for those that, of his elect. It says, "Then the king commanded Ebed-melech the Ethiopian, saying, Take from hence the 30 men with thee, and take up Jeremiah the prophet out of the dungeon before he die." So, at the end of the day, the enemy will be used not only to go against Israel, but the enemy at some points will be used also to help deliver some of the men of the Lord away from the hunger and the famine that's going to be spreading real soon throughout this land. So I just wanted to bring that out, get people in the mindset of what's going to happen with that. Just want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to all the apostles, elders, teachers, preachers, priests, bishops that came before